the time. Your gateway to the world. AFR. American Freedom Radio. Give it to them.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and happy Thursday. It is August 15, 2013. Hope you are having a fantastic day, because we sure have a really boring show in store for you tonight. As you know, it's Thursday. I know. Got to go back to class and get real to heal and, all of that boring, emotional, authentic stuff. But hey, who better to do it with than St. Obi-Wan Kenobi, Tobias Lars. He is a personal awakening coach and the author of Listening to the Sun and Awakening Souls. His website is soulcounseling.com or courseofawakening.com. And if you would like to join us for the text chat, that's over at souljourneysradio.com. Any questions or comments, please feel free to give us a call at 218-339-8525. That's 218-339-8525. It's so good to have Toby. He's like quiet as a church mouse, so something, I don't know, gods must be crazy. How you doing tonight?
I'm not here.
Yeah, I was thinking that. It's like, wow. I went through a whole intro and I didn't get slapped.
I can hear you thinking, like, what's wrong? Did he actually leave, or is he stuck in the bathroom? What's going on?
Willingly stuck in the bathroom, hiding in the bathroom, right? Probably wouldn't be appropriate.
Back to class to kick some ass.
Woo! Woohoo! I like that.
We're going to be, but it feels, whenever we confront ourselves, I was just talking to someone this week about when we want spiritual or regular infotainment is the most we want. We really want just entertainment, gossip, entertainment. The fact that
sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Sex, drugs, and what is, Paris Hilton and I don't know, whatever, doing at the moment. No, I understand. The fact that TMZ has a huge following, that's the collective thermometer of where we're at. I understand it. I'm not judging it anymore. But our minds, inquiring minds, want to know. So we want to know. Ooh, can I tell a spiritual gossip about the Pleiadians? Or how about I tell you what Carrie Cassidy, who she really is and where she's really from, or something, right?
Yeah.
I'm teasing, but it's true, right?
It's more interesting than, like, looking in the mirror and, facing things we don't want to admit exist within ourselves. And so, yeah, Paris Hilton, she's hot, right?
So we have to do, I actually like her. She's kind of sweet. She's, but
you're so easily fooled. I love your innocence.
Smart as a fox, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, you just go with innocence, but you're wise as serpents and still innocent as lambs. See?
Yeah.
You can get away with all kinds of stuff and get in all kinds of places.
Yes, you're very good at that.
And more importantly, you can get out without getting caught.
Yeah, that probably does come in handy, but you know what? It is kind of fun, when you got the getaway driver right outside and nobody knows, and you get to get in another high-speed chase and, big explosive crashes, and I don't know. It is kind of fun sometimes. You should try it.
Sure, I hear you. I've been there. I can't tell that story. The angels are like, no, that's
you can tell it. Come on.
No, I can't. No.
Aren't we isn't tonight's show, what is it? Get real? Let me read it. Get real, be authentic, the only safe haven.
I'm being authentic about the fact that I realize that certain things in the collective consciousness cannot be told yet.
That's true. Okay, fine.
True. Because humans have all kinds of ideas of knowledge of good and evil.
That's true.
And when you're talking to people that have knowledge of good and evil, if you present anything that you know, because it's all one, and God is really Lucifer, and Lucifer's God, and everyone's partying on Saturday nights together, all right?
Politics, exactly.
Yeah, when you play from the oneness place, but when God's source is very beautiful and appropriate. I know from personal experience that Jesus, Babaji, I know, and all the Christians out there who believe Jesus is a certain way, that's not all he is. He's also a really playful, he's everything. If you become everything, are you not also, like we've talked about, very sexual, very powerful, very fun, very mischievous, right? Very having a good time, but without all the needed drugs or shame or guilt. See? Feel the difference? Imagine if you could have all that, quote, good time without the accompanying judgment. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So what I was saying before was people, if we talk about facing ourselves, like today, get authentic. Oh, no, I have to get real. That sucks. I hate having to get real. Can I just stay fake and still win the lottery and have be happy all the time? Right?
Yeah.
Can I just win the Powerball and all that money will just make me happy? Really? Yeah, I haven't watched TV much this summer. I'm back in Phoenix, and I caught some of Celebrity Couples Counseling on VH1 yesterday. And there's a guy...
Couples Counseling on VH1. Forgive me, for those of you who don't know, I don't really watch TV, so it just blows my mind that everything is out there and perfect. We can watch other people do it, but oh man, that's great. Celebrity Couples Counseling.
Oh, I know. It's amazing, and it doesn't really matter now that Dr. Drew has moved up in the world, and he has a horrible gossip show on Headline News, which is one step above whatever that crazy dragon and the Anunnaki frickin' Archon-controlled satanic woman. What's her name? Nancy Grace!
Disgrace.
Oh,
so are these people really? Are they real people?
What is she, a disciple of Gloria Allred, the woman who dresses in all red because she's full of denied all red rage? She's so full of rage. Has a man ever gotten within 30 feet of her romantically? Or does she just repel the penis? How does that work exactly?
So is she like a Dr. Ruth cheese sandwich?
Worse. It's more like some freaking Wolverine horrible bear trap.
Oh, man. Wow. That's a dangerous, spiky, pointy trap.
I'm having fun.
Wait. Anyway, fun. Sorry, everyone.
There we go. We just satisfied the infotainment portion of the show by gossiping and making fun of and mixing in some... Yes, I know it.
Yay. Hey, well, we didn't lose any listeners. They want to hear that stuff. We might as well just talk shit all night.
Wait, we should start a page. What is it? If you get 25,000 people on a petition, the White House has to address it. Is that true?
Right.
How about we start a petition? I know. How about we start a petition that Pierce Morgan and Gloria Allred should go on a date, and we should film it, and we should be able to watch it. How about that?
You are a little behind the times, honey. They already did, and they've already had 7 evil babies.
No. One of the stipulations is they're not allowed to procreate. No spawn, please.
No. No Allred spawn.
Okay, I can't do this on the air because it is so graphic. It is the most graphic thing ever. But Bill Hicks does this awesome thing about what that involves Barbara Bush and Rush Limbaugh and sexual undertones, I should say. Anyway, look it up. Just YouTube it. We can't do it on the air, but it has to do with Spawn and what those evil spawns do.
I'm scared. Okay. All right.
Bill Hicks, telling his truth. Dead at 33. A little too much truth, folks. Dead at 33.
Bill Hicks rocks.
But that's what happens. And we're going to talk about this. Getting authentic. Bill Hicks got a little bit authentic, right? George Carlin managed to survive it somehow. He was really good at it.
Yeah.
But if you get really authentic in public, you know, like anybody, really, John Lennon gets a little bit authentic and, you know, tries, given where he was born, guys, understand, of course he screwed up as a human being. He wasn't there for his first son, Julian. But this, you know what I mean? You know, this was the sign of the times. It was just craziness. Born to a mother, then, you know, raised by his grandmother, father not even present. Of course, that energy is percolating in John's life, but he's trying to get real. And so getting real, and what the topic is here, and at first we wanted to do some play. I say, if we're too real, everybody's like, oh, my God, that's painful. I don't want to talk about that. I have to actually face my own stuff and all that. It is painful.
I'll tell you what, of all the videos I have on YouTube and all the shows we've done, like the only ones I get thumbs down on are the ones where we're talking about getting real or breaking free from denial. People don't like that.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly where we're at. You know, when you have basically people don't. As long as we don't. I posted a thing on Facebook this week where I say it usually takes many, many lifetimes for souls to get beyond or to wake up from denial and blame. And it does, because the convenient thing is, it's what in spiritual circles, in the yogic traditions or any tradition really, they have this concept of the other. The ego loves to do sleight of hand trickery, meaning misdirection. It's not my fault, it's his fault, their fault. They did it to me. The devil made me do it. It's the devil's fault. All right? So the ego loves to transfer blame. You know, that beautiful sleight of hand of you did something, but you somehow just let the blame fall on the person behind you, and they get shackled and hauled off and beaten and killed, right? The ego loves to not look at itself. So this is the ego's promise to people and go, you can blame everyone else, the government, your first husband, your second husband, your third wife, your fourth wife, you know. Chemtrails, your parents.
Doctors.
You know, it's my dad. I didn't ask to be born. Here's a favorite one of denial spirits. The favorite one is, I didn't ask to be born. It's God's fault. It's my parents' fault. They owe me. Right? Great.
I tell them to have me.
Yeah. I didn't want to be born. It's my parents' fault. You know, that's a perfect blame, denial. I'll never fit in. This world is horrible. Here's what I was doing on the class this Sunday, joking a little bit. Oh, I'm a star seed. Now listen to what I say here. We are genuine wanderous star seeds on the planet. There's hundreds of millions of star seeds that have lived in the Pleiades, Arcturus, Andromeda, you know, the Vega, Lyra, all these different planetary systems. Yes, true. Cygnus, you know, Sirius. I mean, the whole Egyptian civilization is basically Syrian, blue light Syrian, you know. That whole thing, and that's an amazing. So there's hundreds of millions of us really that have lived on other planets. So it is true, star seeds. But when you use that to avoid your human stuff, you got to do. Oh, I'm a star seed. I don't belong on this planet. I'm not from here. I'm from the 8th dimension. Shut up. Get a life. Get real. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you brought that up and use it as an excuse for whatever, you know, medical or psychological labels they want to give themselves or whatever drugs they have to take or, thank you for bringing that up.
No,
special people.
I had a client years ago, 20-odd years ago, a young girl, like in her early 20s, sweetheart, you know, just... And she kept saying, Tobias, I'm from the 8th dimension. Now, I was listening. This is when I first started doing sessions like this. I was listening to what I call the divine angels, the angels of order, the watchers, these beings. And I know people are going, well, they're evil. You can decide whatever you want. These particular beings help heal. And there's many thousands of beings that are interested in healing us so that we are functioning as fully operational, full-spectrum humans, or gods, if you will. And every teacher says that. Don't you know you're gods, Jesus says. Buddha says, I'm just like you. You're just like me. Every teacher says the same thing, and we're like, no, you're special, and I want to blame everyone else, and I can never do it myself. Right? A part of us has that in us. Now, I'm poking fun, and believe me, I know it's a difficult process. I've been through it, and I'm not done. I'm still getting cooked.
Me too.
I get cooked every day. I don't like my karma at times. I just have reached the place where I realize denial and blame really is counterproductive. And as long as I do that, I'm just putting off the inevitable about someday I'll have to face it anyway. You can pay me now, you can pay me later. You can deal with it now, It's like, but this particular client, as I'm hearing her, she goes, I'm from the 8th dimension, Tobias. I don't relate to humans. I'm sensitive. I feel too much. I'm an indigo child, blah, blah, blah.
I'm an empath.
I'm an empath, right. And I go, and her guides, her angels said, very strongly, very firmly said, yes, she is, but tell her she needs to pay attention to the 3rd dimension now, because that's where she is.
Amen, brother. Very well said. It is that time, though. Hang on. We will be right back. SoulJourneysRadio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
No rules. No rules. No taboo topics. No taboo topics. No fear of doom. No fear of doom. We are American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
All right, welcome back, and thanks again for joining us here tonight. Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com with Satan in the flesh, getting us busted tonight. No, Tobias, seriously, I am so glad you're bringing up this topic, and it's not to say you're not special, you're not a starseed, you're not whatever, all of these things, but really, I mean, we're here now. We have to deal with it, and I resonate with that. Let me tell you, I used all those excuses. And sometimes when I have my little pity parties and feeling sorry for myself, it's easy to revert back into that. I don't belong here. Just screw this, get me out of here, and, screw you all, and I hate all this, or whatever, you know. But yeah, it's time to get real and grow up, all of us.
It's very common, that one, and it's understandable. It's really the illusion, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of, destruction and death. It's the specter, the presentation, the veil, the illusion of what's going to happen to you. It's really mostly in our head, as we were talking on during the break a little bit. As things present themselves to us that are really tough gateways to walk through in life, like breaking up relationships or quitting this job, or, realizing that it's tough because we've been trained from the beginning to you got to lie and suppress. You can't be authentic, because if you're authentic, bad things happen. I remember when I had a small video business for a while. I did fun stuff, but often to make the bills pay, I filmed whatever came along. And so I would do stuff like I filmed this family's baptism, their little child. And fine, I went to the house afterwards, and then one of the daughters, there was a bunch of little kids and one of the daughters in front of all the adults, and they've all been to their Catholic church, and they're all wearing their Sunday finest and, all that. And one of the little girls gets everybody's attention in the room, and I'm filming it. It's so funny. And she goes, "Oh, can I tell you guys what we learned in kindergarten? We did, my friends and I did in kindergarten this week?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, go ahead, Madeline." And she goes, "Oh, we did this song, but we changed the words to it a little bit."
Yeah.
And she goes, we did the ashes, and then but the way we did it, instead of ashes, ashes, we all fall down. She starts singing it, ring around the rosy, ring around. Oh shit, we all fall down, right? And she did this in front of everybody, right? She had everybody's attention. And she gets to the part where it's supposed to be ashes, ashes. She goes, oh shit, we all fall down. And it was just so funny to feel the ripple through the room. I'm trying not to laugh outright, because I love it. She's so sweet. And then, like, the dad, and it's all supposed to be holy, and the newborn, all that. But so the authenticity of that little girl, there's nothing bad about that. But our projecting that it was bad makes it so. So we're trained early. So she got a dose of training that morning. Now, listen, Madeline, that's not what we do in public. That's not right, And so we get this shame, we get this shutdown, we get this being told. Now, I'm not talking about swearing. That's, who cares? The fact that there are swear words is ridiculous. That's completely a show of knowledge of good and evil, because it's just sounds. They're just sounds. Come on, There's ruder sounds than shit. Is any sound rude? No, none of it.
Said that.
It's all good. It's all God. Right? We know that. So we learn early that being authentic, unless you're really good at humor, is very awkward, and can be. So I do recommend a dose of humor with it. Like when you say stuff, like I do it sometimes. I'll say something like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I said that. That is so inappropriate, and I'm going to have to go spank that multiple self of me," whatever, right? And you have to, but at some point, you can't avoid getting real. And getting real, you can do very beautifully, very sweetly. You can do it very disruptively. In a way, the universe doesn't care. And Mother Nature has no judgment on it, whether it's a volcano going off or if it's a gentle wind through the trees. She doesn't care if it's a tornado or just a beautiful, the wind gently through the trees. Either way, she's moving energy. But when you block things for years, like here recently in Arizona, 19 firefighters died up in Yarnell, which is a beautiful little town. I love to drive through that way to go to Prescott and Sedona sometimes. Very Western, very picturesque, like big old ranches and stuff. And because for 50 years we've been suppressing fires. Okay? Yeah. There's a little chapel we go to on the way up to the Grand Canyon too. Beautiful big open meadows. They used to have the white buffalo there, a couple of white buffalo, and big open fields that naturally were completely open. The ponderosa pines were suppressed because the fires would burn naturally, so it would keep that beautiful open field so bison could roam, right? But then when we started fire suppression 50 years ago, all the trees are taking over the fields. Yeah. And we think we're doing the right thing by suppressing the fire.
Yeah.
So eventually when the fire hits, it's a massive mega fire. That is the only reason we're having massive mega fires. Right? Because if you let Mother Nature do it naturally, you have grass fires that know exactly what to do. You don't have mega forest fires. It doesn't happen. You know? Only when you muck it up, mess with it, suppress it, you're not letting Mother Nature be authentic, who she wants to be. Now, I know this is controversial. Then you actually, I would say, create tornadoes, violent volcanoes, because on the big island of Hawaii, it's been flowing for, 30 years, 25 years. Kilauea has been flowing lava, red-hot lava, for over 20 years. Yeah. She's been doing it very gently. It's a gentle flow. Very gently. No explosions. A little bit of earthquake here and there, but gentle ones. No massive disruptions. Because if you allow her to do her thing and you don't suppress it. See, now us humans, we're suppressing our fire inside ourselves. It's called the Kundalini or the Holy Ghost. The natural fire, we've suppressed it. It's become the thing to do ever since the Puritans. Come on, 1526, whenever they showed up, I don't even remember. The Puritans on Plymouth Rock. Why? Because they're Puritans. They were suppressing natural energies. Sex. Come on, get real, right? And when you suppress that, it will act out. Can you stop a volcano by pushing down on it? No. Your sexual energy is the volcanic energy. It is literally the red and orange. What color is lava? It is red and orange.
Maybe we could just talk it into convincing the volcano that the lava is beneath her. And those are lower chakras and lesser than.
I love.
Or maybe if we tell it that, she's going to go to hell if she erupts.
I love when you play the devil's advocate in Cruella de Vil. Good job.
Well, hey, it worked for how many billions of us, right? So.
Yeah. The problem is it's working. Come on, 80-year lifespan. Horrible lives. The vast majority of the planet is completely stuck in ego, fear, and material slavery. That's the glory of God right there. Oh, yeah, we're doing good. No, what we've actually created, of course, is the archonic Illuminati running a slave camp on Earth. That is the current situation. It's a slave camp Earth. With a few people, whether it's Anastasia in Russia or me or people, Christie, or, we're trying, a percentage. There's millions of us, but it's a small percentage still that really are interested in really doing something about it or believe that we can, You can live so simply. You can live so simply, really. All this production of that you need life insurance and 401ks and health insurance and this and that, it's just such a lie. It's such a lie. Joy and I are driving by a pear tree down just a mile from us here, loaded with pears. And we're like, okay, let's go pick some pears because nobody will pick them. And, we go out to eat and stuff, and we like doing all that. But it's all around us. Nature gave us a complete bounty, the cornucopia. Really, you need very, very little. I'm going to try to get somebody to climb the date tree in front here for me, and we have 10 clusters of dates. The birds love. And I'm just going to put 2 nets around 2 of those clusters, because there's no way we can eat any more than 2, and the birds can have the rest of them.
Or just stick your tarp on the ground and let them fall, and then you can send them to Branson.
Yeah, we can do that. I actually, the last few years, I do nothing. All right. I do nothing. I just pick them off the ground. And they're dry. In the Arizona sun, they dry up really well anyway.
Yeah.
My little girl, Gabby, who's 8 months old now, 9 months old, she's just coming to visit me, my little golden retriever puppy. Talk about an authentic, uninhibited, natural little being. She is so enthusiastic. Every morning, she comes and jumps in bed. She will make you interact with enthusiasm with her. There's no way not to. And she's completely authentic. It's beautiful. She has no shortage of energy. So I'm just saying, if people listening to this, all the rules about that you can't get real, you can't be real, it'll hurt people. Occasionally people are going to feel hurt, including you, because we are addicted to lying to lying, basically, to having a presentation face. I've heard it said, one way it's described in a set of books called The Right Use of Will, is a presentation face. We have developed masks, everybody. We have masks, masking, because we think that's what a good girl should do, or a strong boy should do, you know. We have to suppress who we really are. But the fact is, the reality is, it is in our becoming vulnerable and exposing ourselves, our emotions, our energies, that we become strong. This is why every teacher from Joshua, Jesus himself, will say, become you as little children. Be as little kids. Be like Gabby. Gabby is completely safe. She's completely safe. The big dogs won't hurt her because she's so cute with them. She'll go up into them, into their mouth, and try to steal their stuff. You know, she's completely safe because she's still innocent.
Yeah.
And you can be a wise, strong innocent. See, this whole idea that men can't be vulnerable and innocent and still be strong and sexual and playful and fun is luckily starting to leave the planet some. You know? The old models. What's that?
That sucks. I like that strong, sexy, fun, all of that. Why not?
You can have that, but at the same time, he doesn't have to become the Tin Man, meaning no heart and brittle. See?
Yeah.
You can still do that as a play without actually attaching to it. You know, where you think this because right now, the model for men is quintuple bypass heart surgery, avoid their heart at all costs, you know, become brittle. They become brittle. Their emotions. Why do we even have Viagra? Let's get real. Because
we're brittle.
Because men are shutting down their life force.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy that we're killing sex itself. Somewhere some statistics are saying that the sperm counts in men are the lowest that they've ever been measured. Mm-hmm. Probably largely due to diet and hormones that men shouldn't be eating, you know, the estrogenizing of men, you know, whether it's soybeans or whatever. Soy, by the way, soy is like horrible.
Yeah.
You know? And a little bit.
Unless you like boobs. Oh, and boob cancer.
Unless you want boobs on yourself as a man.
Yeah. We don't like boobs. I think they have a fetish site out there.
Soy has its place. Fermented soy or tofu and cooked is fine. But to drink soy, I remember doing this when I first came out. I remember feeling my lymph glands they were trying to process stuff. And I go, this isn't right. My intuition has told me no soy. And so what I used to drink was something called they don't carry it anymore, Pacific Foods. It's so, you know, but it was a mixture of amaranth, oats, brown rice, and almonds. And it tasted awesome. It was called multigrain. And I wish they still did it. But now I do basically almond milk is what I'll do. Because I like the taste of it. I don't like rice milk.
And cashew.
Anyhow, yeah, cashew is even awesome.
Creamy, delicious.
Yeah. There's another authentic thing, by the way. Let's get authentic. You know, drinking cow's milk? Really? Who came up with this idea?
Yeah.
The Dairy Association of America? Get real. The only thing we should be drinking is, you know, mother's milk.
Yeah, and only for a certain time. But speaking of time, it is that time. We got to take a little break. We will be right back with Tobias Lars here on SoulJourneysRadio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Yo, what's up? Check this out.
The voice of the revolution. American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
All right, welcome back, and thanks again for joining us here tonight with Tobias Lars. He is the author of Listening to the Sun and Awakening Souls. His website is soulcounseling.com, and we're talking about getting real and authenticity, the only safe haven. Tobias, we left off talking about cow's milk. So please continue.
I was just feeling during the break. This is... it's not a license to dump. Like sometimes getting real, when we finally get real, it's like the volcano metaphor here, right? If we suppress the natural movement of the earth, meaning her being able to move her lava and her skin and the earth, then we get destructive earthquakes, tornadoes, storms, and so forth. If we leave the oil in the ground, that's her lubrication, basically, right?
Yes.
Then you get natural movements, softer movements of plates of earth, I would suggest, just intuitively.
I agree.
She's put that oil there for a reason, you know. And so if we drain all that, or if we start, you know, getting rid of the pressure places, even the natural gas and so forth, it really affects sinkholes, like what happened in Florida, whatever. The point is, if we suppress the energy, like if you suppress the fire, these 19 firefighters died out here in Arizona. You know, it's a big thing, right, for everybody here. But part of me, I'm sorry, I just say, well, stop suppressing the fires, you know. Let them burn naturally. Okay, keep them out of the city or the town or off people's houses, but let them burn out in nature and do their thing. The fire knows what it's doing. Mother Earth knows what she's doing. This is what created the Great Plains, you know. There was a part in Sedona, I just went hiking up on Wilson Mountain Trail here a couple of weeks ago, and I felt a little sadness because the beautiful Ponderosa pine forest was gone. And now it's full of the small trees. It's going to take 50 years to get back to where it was. But if we had, the normal fire would never have gotten up into the crown of those trees. Those trees would have survived. So suppressing, not a good idea. Staying current, so this is the reflection, as we do within, in the micro, so in the macros, the human being is suppressing. I'm just suppress, I won't say that, I don't look good if I bring that up, I'll look weak, or I'll look stupid, or I'll look emotional, you know. And so instead of saying it, I did it with Joy yesterday. We're driving to go eat, and I was just honest with her. I said, you know, I'm feeling really irritated. I just feel this irritation in my body, you know. Now, I'm not expecting her to help me process it. She can say, I hear you. You can deal with that on your own. Okay? We can't demand, well, if you loved me, you would sit here and help me process this information. No guilt. That's another level of guilt. I said, well, do you want to? Will you help me do the alchemy process here on this? Can you help me alchemize it? And she said, sure. And I said, okay. So let me feel the energy. Just notice the energy is energy. This is just energy. And then there's this little 3-step process we do. And I did it two times, and it shifted. And I was completely authentic. I'm feeling irritated, like I just want to snap at people. I'm sick of, I don't even know why. I was just feeling the energy. See, once you start feeling energy, that without the knowledge of good and evil, meaning you don't judge, I shouldn't feel this way, I shouldn't feel this way. See, if you pile years of suppressing that stuff on top of each other, when it finally blows, it goes off. You know, people go schizophrenic, or they act out in public, or snap and kill their wife, or whatever. Beautiful example of this, horrible example of this, good illustration of it, was a Mormon guy. There's a lot of Mormons out here in Arizona, and especially out Mesa way. There was a Mormon a few years ago. I think he was a leader in his, whatever they call it, ward, I think their church, the ward. And just perfect teacher. I think he was a chemistry teacher, sort of like that show Breaking Bad. He finally snapped. And he was a teacher, you know, just salt of the earth, leader at the ward, just everybody loved him. He snapped one night, stabbed his wife like 65 times.
Wow.
Okay? The only reason it ever came out is because the neighbor happened to look over the fence and actually witness it. Because nobody would have believed it was him. It's that same thing. He's such a quiet guy. Well, that's because there's a volcano brewing inside. It's too quiet. Remember? When you have puppies or kids, it's too quiet. What are they up to? All right? So you've got to stay current. Stay in the moment as much as you can. Now, this doesn't mean, you know, at work you go to the, you know, you tell your boss to go F themselves and stuff. You know, there are consequences, right? Or you tell the cops exactly what you feel about them at the next time you encounter one, okay? There is a wisdom here as well. But you can wait and you can process it inside yourself. But in this case, poor guy, he'd been trying to be perfect. And his wife apparently had just been putting him down for years, just throwing barbs at him for years. And finally one day he, quote, snapped. Now he blacked out. See, this is the OJ syndrome. He blacked out and didn't remember doing it. This is typical, makes perfect spiritual physics sense, because you are so suppressing those aspects of yourself. You know, we suppress those parts of me. Oh, I'm a good girl. I could never do that. Unless I have 6 vodkas in me, then I'll do it next.
or maybe only 2.
Yeah, okay, right? and I always felt uncomfortable with that. It's like, I'm having sex with a demon. I'm not really into it. No, thank you. Okay? Yeah. Because once it flips out like that, the Jekyll and Hyde syndrome, OJ, come on, it's OJ, right? He just snaps and turns into, you know, slices the heads off of 2 people. Allegedly. Right? But it's so obvious.
But this time.
Right. I'm chasing this other guy that did it. Now, I'm going to tell you, it actually, when we're in that heavy denial, we actually believe it was someone else that did it. Our egos are very powerful. We are reality-creating machines. This gets very scary, I know. But when we will actually create a false memory ourselves that this man broke into the house. Now, sometimes it's just people are lying. Like the couple in Boston, or the guy who stabbed and killed his wife and shot himself through the stomach and said, you know, a black guy attacked us and all this stuff. And he just made that up. But sometimes we actually believe our own denial story. We actually think it's a reality. That's how schizophrenic we become with years of suppression. It's like a pressure cooker. You hold it in, you don't let it come, you know, boom! You ever see pictures of a pressure cooker that blows? Look at that twisted metal. Well, that's what's, you know, we have to process through authenticity, like I'm doing yesterday with Joy. Now, I can do it myself. It's not a big deal. But I'm feeling this energy of irritation, and like, I'm just like sour, and I want to, you know, my ego wants to snap at you or other people. See, me confessing it to her, confess your sins one unto another, getting truthful. We used to call it, when God Source first showed this to me and one of my teachers, God would call it truth-telling. Truth-telling, just telling truth to each other. Now, this is a very powerful, powerful method. What are you really feeling? Not, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. You're not fine. You're just putting on a fake face. You're not fine. You're full of all kinds of suppressed hostility and hurt and guilt and shame. Get real. Right? We're full of it. We're full of this toxic stuff. If you weren't, you wouldn't have your skin break out. You wouldn't get fat. You wouldn't, you know, have that back pain. I went through back pain here for 3 days because there's stuff processing through me. That has to do with ancient sexual stuff, you know, because that's huge for the planet. Come on, get real, right? Sex and money and lying and death. Come on, we got massive issues. Let's get real. The first step in Alcoholics Anonymous is raise your hand and you are effed up. You need help, right? Well, everybody on the planet needs to raise the right hand and go, my name's Tobias, and I am effed up. I need to deal with some stuff inside me if I want to get healthy.
Hi, my name is Christie.
No, you're effed up.
Welcome, Christie.
But you're doing... Welcome, Christie. Good to have you here. We'll be meeting for the next 30 years and not actually move any of this energy. Oh, no, I got a little truthful right there. See, I don't believe in Alcoholics Anonymous. I do. It's beautiful. I've never been involved with it. It's a beautiful thing, but it doesn't always solve the root cause. It keeps you from doing it again. But that labeling yourself, once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic, I don't believe in that at all, because I believe in healing. I believe in resetting to the original purity. I've watched people do that. They tried to say that AIDS was incurable. There's hundreds, thousands of examples of people, children being born with the AIDS virus, that it's gone by the time they're 12, 13, 14. Fact.
Yes.
Fact.
I personally know a few, too.
So this lie about keeping you stuck in a syndrome or labeling yourself, that's BS, too. You're not ever stuck in anything. You can come out of anything. You can get rid of autism.
Yeah, bipolar, all of that. Good. Yeah, well said, Tobias. It is that time, and I do see we have a caller on the line, so we will get to you right after these few short minutes. Stay tuned, everyone. We are learning to get real tonight with Tobias Lars. He is a personal awakening coach. His website is soulcounseling.com or courseofawakening.com. Stay tuned, souljourneysradio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
No rules, no rules. No taboo topics, no taboo topics. No fear of doom, no fear of doom. We are American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
All right. Welcome back. Top of the second hour here tonight with Tobias Lars here on souljourneysradio.com. If you would like to join our happy little soul family in the text chat, that's over at souljourneysradio.com. Just click on listen and chat. And any questions or comments, the phone number is 218-339-8525. That's 218-339-8525. And Tobias, we do have a caller on the line. So you ready to get right into it?
Sure.
Here we go. I was just thinking, we must really suck if we get cut off during the break. At least they let us come back on. Okay, here we go. I'm not sure. I don't want to butcher the name, but Hyro is welcome to the show. Oh, it looks like an overseas number.
Hero, anybody there? You got a question for us?
Hyro, overseas.
All right.
Number.
We can't hear you if you're...
Hello. Sorry.
There we go. There we go.
All right.
It is Hyro, but I normally people say gyro here because it's a J.
Oh, I said it right. Woohoo! Okay, welcome, Hyro. How you doing tonight?
I'm fine, thanks. Well, I'm just wonderful. Thank you.
All right. So what have you got for us?
I've listened to you, Christian, so many times that I really kind of did. I don't know if I'm trying to replace some sort of addictions with others. But there are several levels to my question, but I'm very scared of asking those because it's Tobias most I was going to ask them too. And if I ask this question, the question is like, I am an extremely nice person. Mm-hmm. Now you can see that brings in. You were talking earlier about your child and how wonderful she was, and balance, and not caring about other things. If you don't have balance, it's just as bad being really good as it is just being really, really bad to live in this world. Why do I, as a nice person, attract the most horrible people that will not go away?
First, no, I like the first part of that. I'm not sure that we need balance. There are times when our souls are expressing one polarity or the other, and that is the Tao or the appropriate time for us to do that. And I think the natural state is beyond polarities, meaning there's an enjoyment, a fulfillment, a pleasure. The natural state to me, beyond good and evil, it's sort of like the god Shiva in the Hindu pantheon. He is both, the destroyer and the creator, sort of. He works all angles.
All those are one end of the polarities there. Every single one of those has an opposite polarity in this world of duality.
I'm saying, but I don't think we need to be balanced, because ultimately we include all sides inside us. But in the human experience, for most of us, yes, we are definitely playing with duality. I just wanted to say that first. So I think the fallback position, once we merge everything, we don't have the knowledge of good and evil, we don't judge the dualities, and so they're all good to us, even what we call evil or bad. Now, in your case, when we're attracting certain things into our life repeatedly, there's obviously something in us, I would venture to say, or we like it, or we want to do it, or there's some setup. Because to me, in my world, what I have in me is what I'm attracting to me, or I'm allowing it to still feed on me or still happen to me. I haven't learned boundaries. I'm either pulling it in or I'm not pushing it away,
Okay, good. Okay, so let me just quickly put something in there. Yes, I never use boundaries. I would expect that people would find them for themselves. I tell them in words, but don't actually find them for themselves. They just try and push the boundaries further and further the way that they want it, which leaves me the tiny square in the room, even though I'm the one that supplied everything for them. Sure. And then as far as everything else is concerned, if I've created all of this, then why on earth do you think that I'm going to be with you when you've created nothing? Does that make sense?
Well, the last part cut out. Why on earth do you think I would be with you when you
have not really provided anything and nothing makes sense? Why is it your child loves me and doesn't love you? Why is it your pet love me and don't love you? Why is it that your plants grow when I'm around and die when you're around? Yes. Do you not think these are possible problems for yourself?
No, I know Christie relates to that, and I relate to that. I've got a friend who he has to be so careful that people's horses and dogs, they all fall in love with him, and the people get all mad, that they fall in love with him.
She's evil.
I'm sorry to interrupt
but let me do this.
You'll never stop.
Why do you want to...
Just one moment. This is the last thing I'm going to say. I'm going to stay on the phone, but the last thing I'm going to say is I would love you to please define love, mind, body, spirit, and soul at the end of what you're saying. But I'm listening.
Yeah, I hear you. I would suggest I'd have to do a little more, to feel into your particular situation. But we are, on some level, you are over-giving, over-caring. You've not learned balance there in allowing them they need to carry their backpack. Lots of times we're emotional rescuers, and we're actually physically rescuing, paying for things overly inappropriately, taking care of people. And and that hurts our heart because we have an abundance of energy. Like Joy, my partner, she's a tugboat. She can like pull 100 souls, but I'm like, at someday you need to stop that because, and she's doing that now. I need to stop being a tugboat for others. They need to get their own engines going. Get your own engine going. And there could be an ancient oath.
Things that just stay there. And what happens is exactly that. I am very, very nice to them, and I try to do the right thing for them.
That doesn't matter.
It's not the nice thing that I'm doing. I can't empower them. What I'm doing is nice, but those are not the right. It's not the right thing in order to achieve the result that I would like
exactly.
in them.
Because when I'm dealing with a certain type of dog, like I have 3 dogs, and other, different dogs, you have to deal with them very differently. This dog or this child or this human or me, needs tender gloves. This other one needs to be roughly handled and told strong boundaries. They feel safe with that. So your niceness is maybe not appropriate. So the universe, there could also be an ancient oath. You may have an ancient oath about a beauty and elegance and niceness and creating beauty on earth through being elegant and nice, okay? And that may need to be revisited because certain beings need different energies. If I'm going to tell an elephant to move or a rhinoceros to move compared to a gazelle, the gazelle I barely need to touch on the flank and they will get it. The rhinoceros, I need to poke a sharp stick in that hide and you know what I'm saying? And that's not that the rhinoceros is bad. It's just that it needs a different energy than the gazelle. So you need to start asking you could start asking, show me how to, because energy is always appropriate. Energy knows what to do. But politeness programs don't apply across the board. Being nice, like there was a book years ago, too good is no good at all. Too nice is not good, So there's an appropriateness. So start asking about appropriate energy instead of being correct and nice and having good manners or doing the right thing by a soul. The right thing by a soul sometimes may look really harsh. The right thing to a soul can look really harsh, but it's what's the right thing for them.
Yeah. I'm learning that quite a bit. The nice game and
Because Joy comes to me with this. She says, Tobias, but I told them. I said, Joy, you told them with words, but your energy didn't tell them. It's like me going up to the dog and going, I really don't want you pooping on the carpet again. You really shouldn't be doing that. No, they need to know with an energy.
Or Chinese to someone who speaks English.
Yeah.
So you really, like I'll give another example. A horse whisperer was working with some people, and he was teaching them that the horses respond to energy, not to you being nice and polite. They respond to your energy. So the guy goes up there and you're going to lift his hoof and and the horse doesn't budge. And then
Tobias, when I see them, most of the people that I speak to, they are. I see them broken. Like even now, what I call zombies.
Yes. Mm-hmm. You can't help them all. God's source, because of free will, lets them die as zombies in the gutter. God lets millions of people die horrible deaths right now. The source of everything, our higher selves, is having millions of people in rest homes, drugged to the hilt, zombified completely. That's how they spend their last years. Am I right or wrong? So they have to choose to come out of it. You can go there and be nice to them and feed them your blood, but it won't help them unless they're ready to step up and come out of the zombification. Zombies don't respond to friends like that. Feel this. Zombies don't respond to reason.
No.
They respond to energy, which is usually a club to the head.
Yeah, sounds
All right?
right. Yeah,
I'm serious.
I've had to have a few clubs to my head. I really have. And
You cannot reason with a rabid dog.
Sorry to call you that. Uh-huh.
Yeah, zombies are not reasonable. They are slowly. They're unconscious. Why are we obsessed with zombie movies right now on the planet? Because most of the people are zombies on this planet right now. That's the harsh truth. You know, they're programmed.
I don't want to call them zombies. They're just.
Yeah, you cut out. But yes, so just remember that zombies don't respond to. You don't invite zombies to high tea.
They only understand Kim Kardashian's ass or Brad Pitt's wonderful money and his wonderful wife. They understand this kind of stuff. How can you use this information to explain something so much higher?
But you need to feel this, maybe. Do they want... See, God doesn't waste his time. She doesn't waste her time. God only shows when people are ready, because this is the thing. Start feeling intuitively. Where shall I spend my time? Because if I'm just propping them up for a year and they're still in the same place, they learn nothing, you just drained yourself. This often has to do with oaths of I'm supposed to be here and be Cinderella and help everybody. So there may be some oath in your past about being nice and elegant and beautiful. But let me just tell you, fancy chocolate, beautiful $100 chocolates from Belgium are wasted on the majority of the population. They need to eat the basic chocolate. They won't care. They don't notice the taste. Zombies don't care where the blood comes from. They'll eat it anywhere. Now, I'm being harsh, but so you need to learn to feel the level of refinement. Is it right for me to try to help this person? If it's not, you have to learn to be authentic. This has to learn with the Tao and flowing with what really is. Lao Tzu would get up and leave that town as soon as the energy told him to. Shake the dust from your feet. I got to get out.
Well, I'm awakening and becoming more aware, but I can't say I'm anything like Lao Tzu.
Right, but those are the examples for us to become more impeccable. Don Juan used to teach Carlos Castaneda. He said, "Be impeccable with your energy," meaning when it's finished, leave. You're done. That's it. And go where it tells you to go, even if it looks wrong. So there's something you're probably learning about. Am I just pouring water into sand here? Feel this next time with people that you're with. Am I just pouring the water into sand? There's no earth that can hold it and nothing can grow from it. Why am I pouring water into sand? Out of usually a program of I want to be a nice guy. I want to be helpful. I made an oath to God or to myself that I would help anyone that came along. This is the Mother Teresa complex. It's not helpful to feed heroin to heroin addicts or to feed life force to zombies or vampires. It doesn't help them. God herself, the universe herself, will let them die in the gutter, stay stuck in their programs until they want out of it. You can present it. You can shake them out of it for a little bit, but if they still don't want it, then you have to let them stay there until they want it. They have to decide on their own because it's a free will planet. Yeah.
A free will planet or free will universe?
Yeah, free will universe. But there are planets that are not free will, actually, which is a whole other topic. But Earth is a free will planet. There are free will zones. So
you said something earlier. I don't think I come from here. I've always thought I don't come from here.
Well, I was saying that as I was pretending to be some, starseed who is using that as an excuse to not participate on Earth.
I've been all the way down there. Am I an indigo adult? There's something very strange about me. Mm-hmm. I've tried going to psychiatrist. You get nowhere near a psychologist in this country. He's all psychiatrist. He's trying to say some nonsense about PDs, what do you call those, personal defects. And I'm shouting. I'm like, well, I don't shout at them. I say to them, well, I could diagnose you in personal defects.
Yes, you could.
Well, first of all, you got a very fat ass, and don't think making your ass look any better.
Yes.
You were never going to be
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Welcome to the world's meeting place. American
It's practically narcotic.
Freedom
Oh, yes. I like it very much.
Radio.
You're an American institution.
American Freedom Radio.
Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. Our special guest tonight and every Thursday night is Tobias Lars. He is a personal awakening coach and the creator of CourseOfAwakening.com. If you can't get to see him in person in Sedona or Hopi Land or elsewhere, you can join him for super cheap $10 teleseminars every Sunday evening. And just a reminder, he's going to be holding ceremony in Ecuador, ayahuasca, which we talked about the last couple weeks. So if you missed those shows, just check out the archive. Tobias Lars and ayahuasca. We did 2 weeks of that. Tobias, we're talking about getting real and authenticity. I thought that was an awesome call. And, I think that information is really important because we can't force anyone to wake up, including ourselves.
I want to say one thing before we go back. There's a young man in Norway, Anders. Let me see if I can find him here again. That song that just played was John Anderson from Jet. Yes, okay? That song.
Oh, John Anderson. He's in our text chat.
But John Anderson is also the singer for Yes, and that's one of his private songs that we play in the break right there.
Yes.
Beautiful song. Yes. but Anders in Norway just was at a concert of his 3 hours ago. And he just wrote me a thing on Facebook that he's just coming from a concert from that guy. So I want to say hello to Anders. Cool.
Hey, Anders.
Cool. John Anderson.
John Anderson in the house. All right. Well, honey, we have another caller on the line. Do you want to see what they have for us?
All right. Let's keep it. So being authentic, what do you got for us? Yeah.
Let's check it out. Area code 361. Welcome to the show.
Hi there.
Hi. How you doing? What do you got for us tonight?
Well, for myself, I'm seeking to be more authentic. However, it seems like every time I journey into this realm of looking at other people, the light always seems to be shining back on me.
Yes.
And I'm attempting to have that ability to make that discernment between when I'm having a problem or when I'm, when I'm at fault, if you would.
Yeah.
Or when I'm the one that's causing the problem, and then the difference between that and the boundary seems to be getting pretty muddy for me.
I hear you. So sometimes it's sort of like you can say, I don't know what's going on, but I know what I'm feeling. I don't want to blame you, whoever you're dealing with, the other people, the other situation, the other. This is what's called in the spiritual training practices, the other. I don't want, your intention is first. That's the foundation. I want to see what's really happening, learning to discern. That's the intention, right? The universe will honor this. Your higher self will honor this. And you're going to have a learning curve. At times you're going to realize, oh my God, I was completely projecting that on that person. Like, here's a good way of learning that for ourselves. You think of someone or something and your mind creates a scenario. They're being this way, they're being that way, they meant that by what they said. And then without buying into that, you kind of clarify, or you just keep your mouth shut, and then you realize that's not what they meant at all. So then you can learn, oh, I was projecting that. So it's like taking a course in learning when I'm projecting, when it's accurate, when I'm seeing them clearly. That's their issue, that's their stuff. They can't hear me. It's their problem in a sense. And when it's my problem, you know. And it really is a learning curve to do it, you know. I still catch myself, oh, I projected that on them. That was just my own mental drama, my own mind drama. So you can ask for clarification sometimes if it's people that you can ask things to, which we can't always. But if you can say, what do you mean by that? Or, you know, I'm not sure I'm understanding. You know, ask, don't make the assumptions, like Don Miguel Ruiz says. Don't make the assumption about what's going on in your head, but ask for clarification, kind of, you know, is this what you meant? Or are you telling me I'm wrong with that? Or, you know, ask for clarification. Don't be so quick to make assumptions and conclusions and judgments about other people. Always a good tool. And yeah, it's a learning curve to learn to discern what's actually happening here. Show me, I talk to God about it. I say, show me, God, what's my stuff, my own fears. I want to see my fears, my foibles, my defense mechanisms, my automatic judgments. And that's a process. It's almost like the plates at the cafeteria. We all have a lot of them, you know, and you deal one and there's another one. You deal with one, there's another one. There is an end to the plates, the stack of plates, and you will notice that you start being less triggerable. You start realizing, oh, I don't fly off the handle. I don't get mad inside my head at those things anymore because I have conquered, finished, cleaned up that part. So what I ask directly from the universe. Show me what's real here. Is that my stuff, their stuff, both our stuff? You know, is it all their stuff? Is it only my stuff? And then I get vulnerable, like I did with Joy yesterday. Instead of me projecting on her, being irritated, instead of me being irritated with it, I asked for help. You know, I said, now we have some ground rules with her and I, or not rules, but we haven't, you know, we help each other at times with this stuff. Sometimes you can't do that, and that's when you kind of withhold judgment and go, wait till later and let me replay it in my head, and I want input from my higher self, from God, from Source. Show me what actually happened. You can replay it by yourself. You can do it in the moment. If it's someone you can talk to, ask for clarification. Don't make giant instant assumptions. And it is a learning curve. Be patient with yourself. You're not instantly going to be a master, clear seeker of all things. You know, it's not going to happen that way. Some of my thoughts.
That's the hard part in some ways, to remain vulnerable without being gullible or being a target at the same time. It seems like finding that balance is difficult, and you know, like most men, if you get backed into a corner, the warrior's going to come out.
Yeah.
And part of that is authentic, but the use and the timing of that is the complete difference between whether it's a positive thing or not.
Try this. In the middle of warriors showing up, full on screaming, you know, veins popping, red faces. In the middle of that, you can even go, I want healing here. You can just say it inside, or you can say it out loud. I really don't want this. I would prefer for us to not have to act it out this way. I want clarification. I want the truth. But not talk to the person's soul. Talk like you're talking to the person, the soul that's floating above them, 3 feet behind them. Don't talk to the personality. I want clarification here. I don't need to be right. I want to know the truth. That can be a really good sword Archangel Michael's sword. Not just defensive, fighting back, but I'm fighting unconsciousness here. I'm fighting ignorance. I want to know what's real. If I'm projecting this out, I'm willing to say it and see it. See, that's the heart warrior. The heart warrior doesn't want to be right. The heart warrior wants to know what's real. That's a good one. And you can do that in the middle of the action. You can do it in the middle of the action. I've done it. I've talked out loud to God in the middle of a fight. And I've had magic happen. And I don't care what, it actually works when you're sincere. But as long as you want to get them, then you are wanting revenge or wanting to get them. That's why God says in the Bible, revenge is mine, says God. Get revenge out of it and want truth. I want truth. I want healing. I want truth. I want healing. I don't care about being right. I don't want revenge. That's often good. When the warrior comes out, be a warrior for truth and healing.
Yeah,
put it to good use, Put that energy to good use. Warrior is great energy. It's really powerful. I used it my whole life. I've cleared rooms. People get mad at me. I don't care, But I want truth. And as soon as people's hearts show up, I'm there. It's when I can. Am I perfect? No. Am I paranoid at times? Yes. Do I forgive myself? Yes. Am I confused at times? Yes. Do I project my fears and my old stuff on people? I am willing to fail. There's nothing wrong with failing, and there's nothing wrong with me having imperfections, and I'm still learning. When people come back to me, Tobias, you were too harsh with that. Let me feel that. Okay. Let me find a better way of doing that. It's not about me being defensive. I don't want to be defensive anymore. I want to learn. I want truth and healing more than I want to be right and than I want revenge. That's a big shift when you do that.
Very well said. Beautiful. I really feel that.
I hope it's a little helpful. But I hear you. You're very honest. It feels very honest what you were saying about, just hang in there. Don't expect yourself to be perfect at it. First time you learn to, drive a car, it took a few times.
Well, I do find I have fewer of the warrior surfacing if I listen to my heart and my intuition a lot of times before I even enter the situation. If I'd listened initially,
the
agitation never takes place in the first place. But
right, and forgive yourself. No, forgive yourself for when you're unreasonable. I'm a human being. I get triggered. I get paranoid, unreasonable, and I'm an asshole at times. So what? Forgive that. See, this super high expectations, it's not a license to be nasty and dump on people. Not at all. But when it comes up, it's the self-judgment sometimes that makes it fester. See, if we judge I shouldn't do that, then we keep doing it till we take the judgment off. See, forgiveness helps it go. Judgment is like Velcro. So if you're self-judging, you're going to keep Velcroing to yourself the same situation over and over again until you forgive yourself for it. At times, I'm not perfect. I am an asshole. I am unreasonable. I'm judging people. I'm self-righteous. Yup, I do that stuff sometimes. I don't want to, and I do it less and less the less I judge myself for doing it. Yeah. Be authentic with your weaknesses. See, that once you get authentic with your weaknesses, their days are numbered.
So
yeah, they start to fall away, don't they?
They do. As long as you pretend or you're holding up an ideal that our daddy taught us, or that's something the world taught us, that we need to be perfect and we can't be weak and we can't screw up, that's completely unreasonable for a human being at this point. I am going to mess up, but that's not a license to mess up. See, some people will misuse that. No, I'm going to realize, I want my healing more than I want to be right or look good. I want my healing more than I want to look good or have it all together. That's really helpful for me.
Let's all give ourselves permission to just be ourselves and be an asshole sometimes, be an idiot sometimes, mess up along the way and pick ourselves up and not judge ourselves and be okay with that. How does that sound?
Yeah. And how beautiful it is when we can tell the other people involved, I was being a dick. I'm sorry. I was unreasonable. I reacted. I was being reactive. How's that? That's a neutral word. I was being reactive, and I just went into a knee-jerk reaction. I don't really want to do that, but sometimes it takes me over. I'm still not perfect at that, and I'm sorry I did that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And then the other person goes, oh, I hear you. If it's a guy you're talking to, he'll go, I hear you, buddy. Don't worry about it. Don't do it again.
Just shake your hand after he punches you in the face.
Right. And if it's
and
a
big
woman,
hug.
and if it's your woman or sweetheart or woman, she'll go, I hear you. Thank you for saying that, and that's very sweet of you. And her heart will open, and your heart will open.
And then we'll have to talk for 40 hours in a row, and then cuddle for 7 days later, and then you'll be like, oh, come on. Can't we just, shake hands?
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
News and information you can trust. This is American Freedom Radio. Freedom, American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
Journeys Radio. I want to thank you, both the callers. It kind of ended when we got cut off at the segment, so I didn't get to thank you both properly for calling in and sharing yourselves with us. Excellent information, as always. Looks like darn it. Okay, we had another one on, but I guess they were from UK and they were holding on so long. Darn it, we should have told them to hang up during the break. Oh, well. Okay, so I guess they're out of money. I'm sorry. All right. Well, I hope it was worth it. You did get to listen to us in real time while everyone else is listening on a delay, so there. I'm sorry. That's terrible. Okay, last segment. All right. So, yeah, this whole getting real thing, and you said that it's our only safe haven in the coming years.
It is, because all the facades, there's a certain point in galactic evolution or certain frequencies. It's just physics, really. You vibrate certain energies and you can't resist it. Like Tesla's work with whatever, certain frequencies will make certain things happen. It's just how it works. If you have a baby crying on a plane, it will affect you. It's just how it works.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when people feel real love in the room and certain when my teachers show up for me, the frequency changes. It affects things. So when you get authentic, when more and more of us get real on the planet, and this is not, again, like I said, a license to dump or yell or scream or hurt each other, and I'm just telling the truth, I'm just showing, no. Real truth telling also has the intention in it, like we talked with the last caller, I want healing, I don't want revenge, I don't want to hurt you, even if the feeling is I want to hurt you. You can be honest about, I'm having a feeling of wanting to hurt you, but I really don't want to, but my reaction right now is I want to get you away from me and I hate you, right? But even that feeling can be a conscious feeling. And the more and more of us get authentic with our toxic waste dumps inside our own chakras, inside our own energy beings, and they're going to come up at this time because there is a shift into going above the ecliptic of the galaxy where there's spiritual physics in the universe. We're moving into a different yuga, a different age, a different, like the Greeks, the golden ages, the different yugas of the Vedic traditions in India. And so the new time we're going into has to do with transparency, easier and easier communications, electric, spiritual electricity. So we're going to create higher and higher technologies, but also our hearts and beings and bodies, any of those things that are still stuck in us, the issues in our tissues, are going to start boiling to the surface.
Issues in our tissues.
Yeah.
That's great.
We've got them. And so if you keep repressing it, which many people will do, it's going to be increasingly difficult. It's going to be difficult enough even when you've decided I want to wake up. There's going to be times when you feel like I'm going crazy. What's going on here? I can't handle this, In the past, people would die when they would start moving into a whole other frequency of their soul. They would leave that body and reincarnate. Right now on Earth, there's many of us that are living multiple lifetimes in the same body. We're literally processing massive amounts of stuff. In a way, we have waited until the last minute, and we're cramming for exams here a little bit. But so this boiling of our energies, the only real safe place is going to be if you are open to it. If you go to the doctor and say, the doctor says, "What are you here for?" And you're like, "I don't know. I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell you." Or you lied to him. It's really your appendix that's bad, but you go, "Oh, I have this pain in my, in my head." That's going to confuse the doctor. So if you're not being authentic with the universe about what's really going on with you, you're going to have a much harder time healing. The authenticity is going to make you transparent. Things are going to be able to percolate through you. Your pipes are going to be open and flowing. So Kundalini awakening only gets you in trouble when you have resistance. See, resistance creates the heat. A light bulb creates heat only because wolfram, this particular metal, is very resistant to electricity, and it glows. The heat and the pain and the glowing and the fire and the pain only happens if you're resisting the flow. So being authentic with your feelings, the relief, once you actually clear the air with somebody, everybody feels relieved. Well, why wait 30 years to deal with it? We don't have that time. So we've got to start, and it's going to feel very scary at times. You're going to feel very vulnerable. You're going to feel stupid, weak, all those things you've avoided, and you're going to learn that real strength is in being transparent and open, more vulnerable, more open-hearted, more authentic, more truth-telling. Now, it's going to be a little bit rocky at first, like Rip Van Winkle sleeps for 100 years. His bones are stiff when he wakes up. Well, we're waking up our authentic emotional bodies. They're going to be a little bit jerky and stiff at first. So you're going to look a little stupid. You're going to feel stupid. You may be even inappropriate in some situation. But the more you can say, "I know, I'm sorry," you can always say things. See, it's safe. You can make humor with it. You can go, "Oops, I guess that was awkward." You can literally just have fun with it. But the only safe place is going to be in the authentic human. The authentic human is going to be safe because the energy is going to be allowed to flow through you. If you block the pipe, if you shut off the pressure cooker and it can't let any of that steam out, it will blow. So the false human, the suppressed human, the fake face, the fake front and facade human that's being not real is going to blow. This is the old thing. This is the OJ syndrome. We flip out. The authentic human being able to say, "I am scared. I am worried," but not wanting to hide or pretend. It's that fake mask that gets you in trouble. And this is going to be increasingly in the years to come. We're going to realize, why did we ever start lying? What a tangled web we weave when at first we practice to deceive. Why did we even go down that path? It sucks. You get Dick Cheney as president with a Tweedledum chimp who's his front man. You get, the Illuminati running the planet. You get Monsanto. You get bodies in pain. You get, autism. You get bipolar. You get schizophrenia. You get all these horrible syndromes simply because we're not able to be real. You get, the population increasingly incarnated because we can't get real. I mean, incarcerated and incarnated because we can't get real about something silly like marijuana or natural plants. We've gone down a false path, this false image worship. And then when you talk to these people, hiding behind their gated communities, trying to hold it all together, there's a recent movie out, beautiful, with Bill Murray where he plays FDR. And it was all, the whole surface about what we should show, Even up into JFK, we were hiding it. Everybody knew he's with Marilyn Monroe and with Sam Giancana's mistress, But the press won't report it because we're not living authentically because we have all these false judgments of that's wrong to do. See, once we get human and real, all this stuff's going to go away. The devil has no food. The ego has no food once you get real. There's nothing it can live on. But when you do denial and suppress, you get all this dark stuff. When you're not living in the house, the rats move in, right? When you're inauthentic, you get all these weird ego things. When you get real, your whole body shall be full of light. At first, you have some cleaning to do, Lucy. You're going to clean your house. Yeah. And the denial people are going to keep looking good, but they're not. They're going to be dying off the planet. They may look good on the surface, whether it's priests raping little boys or our politicians doing this and that and the other, or you just, not being able to be authentic about what happened to you and your family. Get real with it. I want to heal it. Get real and heal. Yeah, the only safe place is you getting authentic with you. And that's going to bring in eventually absolute fun, play, joy. The awakening process, it's that old saying, while you're going through the awakening, at times you're going to feel like, why did I decide to clean up the swamp? Because now I'm up to my ass in alligators, right? You know that old saying? I used to have this peaceful lake on my ground, and then I started cleaning it, and I found old rusted cars and paint buckets and poisons, and, it's horrible. At first, it's going to look like you're detoxing. It's the same way when you start shifting from a crappy diet to a good diet. First, your body goes, really? You're going to do this? I'm going to get rid of these plastics and PCBs and God knows what, lead and stuff that's stuck in me.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also, check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
You're listening to the future of talk. American Freedom Radio. This is American Freedom Radio.